please, whether that be on a bolster, a block, or just simply on your bum is absolutely fine. Just make sure that the spine is nice and long, shoulders are relaxed, chin parallel to the floor. Palms facing down on the thighs if that's okay with you. And then just taking a moment to just breathe naturally, normally. Give yourself space to arrive mentally and physically. And when you've allowed yourself that moment, or 2 or 3, start to be a bit more engaged in your breath. Inhaling through the nose, continuing your inhalation until you feel the expansion of the ribs and the tummy. You might feel the rise of the shoulders. And as you exhale, feel the shoulders melt, ribs draw in, tummy draw in, and a sense of heaviness and grounding on your out breath. As always, you can take a bit longer with your breath. Take as long as you need. When you're ready, just start to roll the shoulders. Roll them in the opposite direction. And then shrug them up and down a couple of times. Shake the arms out if you need to. And then inhale, reaching the arms up, nice lift through the chest. And exhale, bring yourself forward onto all fours. So you can move any blocks or bolsters out of the way. Hands shoulder distance, apart, knees hip distance. Inhale as you lift into your cow. Exhaling as you transition into your cat. Tailbone rounds, belly button pulls into the spine, away from you. Inhale to open. Heart draws forward, shoulders soften back, and again. Couple more rounds. Really nice movements to connect breath to. And then back to a neutral spine. Curl the toes under. Work the toes towards the back of the mat, pressing through that right heel. Then inhale, squeeze the glutes as you lift that right heel up. Then you're going to point the toes. You're going to lift that leg as high as you can and then take the leg out nice and wide to the side at hip height. Press down through the foot. Inhale, reaching up through that right arm. Exhale, thread right arm underneath your left, reaching through, and then inhale to open. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Left arm, inhale to open. It'll feel a little bit more restricted as you open up, but it'll feel like there's a lot more space as you send it through in comparison to the other side. Bring the left shoulder and the left ear down to the mat, and you can reach the right arm up. You can reach it towards the top of your mat, or you can bend the elbow and bring it into a half bind behind your back. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Right as you come back up to center. Inhale, sweep that right leg up, take it back and over the back of the left leg and just touch down the toes to the outside edge of your mat. Then you're going to lift up again. Exhale, knee in towards the nose. Inhale, donkey kick, flex the foot, push the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Option to stay here or reach back with that left hand and find the foot. Press the foot into the hand. Press right hand down, lift the heart forwards and up. 3, 2, and 1. Release the leg, don't drop it down yet. Left hand back to the mat. Right leg back out nice and wide. Drop down left hip to left heel. Pause here, 5 full breaths. Last breath, and then inhale, ground through the hands as you lift back up. Bring that right knee back into tabletop position. Take a few more rounds of cat-cow. And then back to tabletop position. Curl the left toes under. Send the left heel back. Press into the heel for a breath or 2. Then inhale, squeeze in the glute. Heel draws up towards the ceiling. Left leg out nice and wide to hip height. Sole of the foot pressing down. So when you're ready, we're going to take the left hand first. Inhale, open up. So there's lots of space here. And then exhale, thread underneath. Feels like maybe not so much space. Inhale to open. Left hand back to the mat. Right hand. Inhale, open. Exhale, threading through, shoulder and ear down to the mat. So same again with this left hand. You could reach it to the top. Or you can reach it semi-bind. So sticking with that grounding theme. When you're ready, left hand back to the mat. Inhale back up. Left foot lift, send it all the way over the back of that right leg. Toes touch. Up, knee into the nose. Flex the foot, donkey kick up. Option to stay or option to find that foot with the hand. Press the foot into the hand. Lift out of that left arm. Few breaths. And then when you're ready, release foot. Keep the leg elevated. Take it back out wide to hip height. Exhale as you drop hips down towards the heel. So if I haven't mentioned it in any of our live classes, which I'm sure I would have done by now because I think we're in week 3 when you'll see these. So personality type of a earth type it has some similar characteristics to water type in the sense that they're both quite nurturing personality types. So you might notice that some of the qualities merge across 2 or 3 of the elements. Last breath here. Then you can inhale, lift up, bring that left knee back to tabletop position. Draw some big circles with the hips. They say that earth types are born lazy. Move your hips in the opposite direction. And then you're going to lift up, take knees, nose, chin, chest, cobra. Really press down through that pubic bone, press through the tops of the feet. Lift tall, shoulders relaxed. You can gaze, personally I gaze ahead. Some people like to gaze up. I find that hardens the back of the, or front of the throat for me, but you do that if it works for you. Exhale back down, pressing into the feet still. Inhale back up. And back down again. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Curl the toes, come into your first downward facing dog. Pedal the legs out. And while you do that, I'm going to grab my notebook because apparently I didn't open it at the front of my mat and I like to have my notes. So just work the legs out like you do usually in your downward facing dog, inviting all the moves in or lack of, depending. So when you're ready, look ahead between your hands, walk, hop, step or jump to the top of your mat. Come into ragdoll forward bend, holding the elbows, deep bend in the knees so that your whole chest and your tummy is resting over the thighs. And just bring the weight forwards and backwards, in and out the toes to the heels. So earth types are slightly lazy by nature. That I do relate to an earth type on that level. I'm not a lazy person, but I can be incredibly lazy if I want to. Some of the more negative qualities of an earth type would be they're quite envious people. They have a tendency to be. They're worriers. They worry about everything. You know, one of those people that worries about scenarios that they make up in their head that is really likely to not even happen. They're the ones that are worrying about those situations. They're probably an earth type. So personally, I relate to earth and water. Take another few breaths here. Now just sway softly from side to side. So earth types are not all bad though. They're honest, trustworthy humans. Again, similar to water, they're quite introverted beings, happy with their own company. They are great eaters and sleepers. Me. I think I probably relate to earth a little bit more than I do water. But again, it's interesting to get to know yourself through these elements. They're quite cheerful, honest, tolerant, can be quite stubborn beings as well. Press through the feet, roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Lifting tall through the crown, releasing the arms, inhale, nice big reach up, really press down through the feet, feeling every single toe pressing down into the mat. Keep lifting tall, draw the ribs in slightly. So you can see that difference. What happens is when we lift as tall as we can, sometimes the ribs will flare, the butt will poke out. Draw the ribs in. Exhale, come into your forward bend again. This time hands to the big toes. Bending at the elbows, tucking chest in towards your thighs. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold, hop, step or jump back to plank. Hold your plank position. From your plank, you're going to take chaturanga all the way down to the tummy. Lift chest and the thighs into shalabhasana. Curl the toes under, press into the mat, into plank. Then from your plank, you're going to bend your left knee. Then you're going to turn to the right hand, drop the left foot behind, and into Wild Thing. Lifting through the chest and the heart. And then you're going to lift this left leg, step it to the top of your mat, right knee down, inhale, low crescent lunge. The chest, hands come down to frame the left foot. Chest connects the thigh, exhale, start to straighten through that left leg. So you should feel that pull through the back of the hamstrings, calf. So really press down through the foot as well. So don't just have a little lazy foot. Press down through the big toe, through the little toe, through the heel. And then you're going to bend forward, lift the right knee into a high variation, keeping the hands grounded. Left hand to the inside of the left foot, right heel down, open that left arm up first. And then you can reach that arm over and doing it up if you like to go that way into your extended side angle. If this is too much to have the hand down, raise it onto a block or pop the forearm up to the thigh instead. Then you're going to take it to reverse warrior. Exhale into warrior two. Hands behind you, lifting through the chest. Exhale, humble warrior. The inner thighs, hug them in. Press down through both sets of feet just as evenly as the other. And then we're going to release the hands to frame that left foot, right heel to lift. Step back into plank, chaturanga all the way to your tummy. Palms, thighs lift back into Shalabhasana. Hands to the mat, plank. Then you're going to bend your right knee, press into the left hand, roll it into your Wild Thing. Lift through the chest, lift through the hips, watch collapsing into that left wrist, and then right knee up, step that right foot to the top of the mat, left knee down, inhale, low lunge. Exhale as you open through the chest. Hands framing the right foot, chest to thigh, start to straighten through your right leg. Extra long exhalations, just extend that grounding experience in your practice. Technically I should be barefoot, but it's freezing down here right now. Couple more breaths. Then you're going to bend back into that right knee, curl the left toes under, lift the left knee into your high variation. Bring the right hand to the inside of your right foot, left heel down, left arm is going to reach up first. Encourage that right knee out towards the edge of your mat, and then sweeping that left arm by the left ear into your extended side angle variation. Keep that top shoulder opening up. Keep the gaze nice and open. Inhale, reverse warrior. Warrior two, hands behind the hips. Lifting through the chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Let me turn around to be easier. And then inhale, lift out of your humble warrior this time. Straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in. Lift tall, slight lean back. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Release the hands to the big toes, bend at the elbows. And imagine you're trying to pull the chest between your thighs. Inner thighs hugging in as well. Pressing down through those toes. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands to the waist. Inhale, lift up. Heels turn in. Hands can stay to the waist. Exhale into your goddess. Take the hands to the thighs. If you want a little bit of a shimmy, shimmy. So when I asked I asked Instagram what postures you found most grounding. A lot of you said hip openers, which, yes, they are quite grounding postures, especially like your pigeon pose, for example. But a lot of hip openers relate to water, which is quite funny because that was the last lot that we've just done. Funnily enough, balances such as eagle legs and tree poses are one of the more grounding postures in yoga. But we can say in yoga, oh, you know, this is a grounding pose, this is this, but you will get your experience in your postures. You'll know what grounds you and where you feel more grounded, where you feel more up in the air. And then sink a little bit deeper. Sorry, I was talking and I told you to put your hands there and then I started talking. No different to real life. So shoulder towards the inner thigh of the opposite leg and then just taking it from one side to the other. Lift up, straighten through the legs, turn the heels out, back into wide leg forward fold. Left hand underneath the face, inhale, right arm into a twist. Really press into the mat with that left hand, really extend through the fingertips of the right. So for example, I've just dumped all the weight into the outside of my feet because I'm paying more attention to the twist. So then check your foundation, the points in contact with the mat. Reground through them and then you can worry about the rest of the posture. Another breath, then right hand down, left arm to open. Reground through the feet if you lose that engagement again. And then left hand down to the mat. Bend into your left knee. Right leg long into Skandasana. Other side. So maybe you want to think about which postures make you feel grounded. Just because the yoga books say certain set of postures will be grounding doesn't necessarily mean they'll feel that way for you. Next pose we're going to take is one that you guys, it was the most popular posture for grounding for me. Couldn't be further from it. So let's take it to there. So you're going to take the hands to the mat, swivel around to your front foot. And then you are going to step your right foot back into downward facing dog. Now for me, this is the grounding posture that grounds me. That first time I hit downward dog of the day, fingers press into the mat, I'm like, yes, thank you, please. Forwards to plank, chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog this time. And then take your feet out as wide as your mat is as you lift into a slightly wide leg downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet. Inhale all the way up, turn the toes out. I think is the most grounding posture of them all. Lifting through the chest, pressing through the feet, especially those little toes because they tend to want to lift, especially if you can tend to collapse weight forwards. 3. Feel grounded yet? 2. And 1. Pressing out of Malasana. Inhale, slight lean back. Drinking purd. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Pull the hands to the heart, step the feet into Tadasana, grounding through the feet, pausing for a moment, checking in with the breath. Now just start to shift the weight from side to side. You can let one foot lift. And then just bring the weight into your right foot. Come onto the toes of the left and just circle that ankle. Opposite direction. All right, we're going to need our feet, so I've got to take my socks off. So once you've circled lefty, circle righty. Lovely noises going on in there. Now, be playful with this, all right? So you're going to step back towards the back of your mat. Inhale, reaching up. As you pull the hands to prayer, lower down into toe stand. So toe stands are great for grounding. Notice how the toes all spread out, press into the mat. So now we're going to take a toe stand walk to the top of the mat. If you've ever done a Malasana walk, this is easier. Well, it's less, maybe it's not easier. Maybe I lied. Bring the weight into, for example, your right heel now, and we're going to take the left leg out into a pistol squat toe stand. So, it's hard to talk at the same time, so really connect to your breath, and when you're ready, we're going to take one leg toe stand. Then you're going to step that foot in front, bring the weight of that left hip to the left heel, right leg, potentially. Then again, press into the right foot. Keep doing that until you've walked all the way to the top of your mat. Okay, I'm at the top. There's a wall in the way, otherwise I'd keep going. Once you're back to toe stand at the top of your mat, keep the heels lifted into your chair. Ground the heels, hands to heart, Tadasana. Pause. Notice the energy in your feet, ankles, calves perhaps. Inhale, root down to rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhalation. Exhale to refold, hop, step or jump back to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Take a little child's pose or come into downward facing dog. 5 full breaths. Lift the hips, walk the hands forward into puppy. Press into the forearms, palms, curl the toes under and walk it into your dolphin. So really press into the fingertips, the wrists and the forearms. Bring the gaze between the forearms. It's less tempting to drop the head down to the mat then. Press into both palms. Lift the forearms back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg. Exhale, right foot between the hands. Inhale into your high crescent lunge now. I don't know how to explain it. You're going to lift your left knee to your left elbow. Then you're going to step it back, lunge. Left knee to left elbow. Step it back. And again. Pause. Take it to eagle legs. Left knee draws in. This time we're right into your eagle leg. So your left leg is stacked around your right like you need to go for a pee. Tucking toes in is optional. Hands to prayer for this one. Then we're going to reach the arms up. Really root through that right foot, reaching up through the fingertips. Release the left leg. I didn't think this through. Warrior 3. So you can keep the same arm position. Hands to the mat, left foot meets the right. Inhale all the way up. Lean back. For those little heart opener junkies, hands to the mat. Hop, step or jump back. Chaturanga, hold. Cobra or upward dog. Back into down dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg. Exhale, left foot forwards between the hands. Inhale into your high lunge. When you're ready, same again with those knee to elbow. So bringing the right up towards the right elbow. Step it back, lunge. Right knee up, wrapping it around. Eagle legs, hands to prayer to begin with. Reaching those hands up. Again, I've not thought it through about the transition. I've come too close to the wall. Hopefully you guys have got more space so that you can take it to your warrior three without having to hold. Well, you can if you want to. When you're ready, releasing the leg, warrior three. Hands to the mat, standing split. Right foot meets the left. Inhale to rise. Exhale, folding forwards. Palms underneath the balls of the feet, shifting the weight forward towards the toes. Shoulders, relax them away from the jawline. Releasing the feet. Inhale, root down, rise up. Exhale to fold. Hands to the big toes. Halfway lift as you inhale. Hands back to the mat, hop, step or jump back to your plank, chaturanga to your belly. Arms to the side, rise into Shalabhasana. Another breath. Bring the hands to the mat, press it up to all fours. Inhale, exhale, a few rounds of cat-cow. And then you can drop the hips towards the heels. You can sit in hero's pose here if you wanted to. If not, just sit back on the heels instead. Keep the butt down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, right arm forwards, left arm reaches back. Inhale up. Left arm forwards, right arm back. Inhale, lift, hands to prayer. Pull them to the chest, then link the fingers, push the palms away, and then round through that upper back. Think cat. Then inhale, straighten the spine as you lift through the chest, slight lift in the chin. Pausing, forearms hugging in as the palms press away from you. 3, 2, 1. Cactus the arms. Bring the fingertips to the shoulders. Draw circles with your ears. Go on. Do that. I'm joking. Do circles with your elbows, not your ears. Opposite direction. Release, shrug the shoulders a couple of times, and then we're going to take Gomukhasana arms. So you're going to take your right arm up first, because that's my good side, to show you the demo. Right arm blades, left arm comes from underneath, bending at the elbow, and maybe finding the hands meet in the middle. If they don't, I didn't bring one, I'll use my sock. It is clean, I only put it on about 10 minutes ago. Bridge the gap. You're less likely to tuck the chin in, bring your down, and hope that we'll get the hands to meet. This way you can stay nice and tall, elbow lifted, heart is open. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Release. Roll the shoulders if necessary, and then take it to the other side. We're going to visit this pose again. Left arm reaches up. Oh yay, but you're thinking left hand. Right hand comes from underneath, so you might need hopefully your strap and not your sweaty sock. No, it's not sweaty. And again, just really elevate through that top elbow. And as you exhale, what you might find is you can start to bridge that gap yourself with the hands. Once the body starts to let up a little bit, you'll be able to find that room. Get ready to release. Roll it all about, shake it all about. Roll the head, the neck if you want to. You can roll the shoulders again. But then you're going to come to a seated position. Now, you are going to take your right leg out nice and wide. Unless you're super duper bendy bev around your hips. In which case, if you are, take the legs out together nice and wide. You can always elevate your hips in a wide leg forward fold. You can use a block like this one, or you can use a thinner, which is probably a little bit more ideal than these ones. But just this, having the block means you can perch yourself at the end of it, roll the flesh out the way from the bony parts, and then you're going to feel a lot nicer to fold forwards. So if you've got both legs out at the same time, you're going to fold forward and you're going to stay there for twice the amount of time. Those of us who are bending the knee, we're going to have to do half and half. So for example, left foot to the inner thigh. No, I'm not mirroring you, sorry. And then you're going to lift tall. Flex through that right foot. Exhale as you pull the chest forwards. And you're just going to hold it here. 3. 2. As you exhale, look at that room you find. And 1. If you've got both legs out, stay as you are, continuing finding space. If you're with me, change legs. Left leg long, right foot to inner thigh. Lifting tall on the inhalation, left foot is working still, exhale to fold. After your third breath, walk the hands back up, and then you're going to bring both legs into Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees wide. You can stay on your block, but what you might find is actually your pelvis doesn't tilt backwards in Baddha Konasana. Some of us it still might. If you find you feel it a lot easier to sit upright in this position than you do your legs out in front of you, then your folds might be limited by your hamstrings and not your hip flexors. So just take a little mental note of how you feel in Baddha Konasana. Inhale, lifting tall, exhaling as we bring the chest towards the thighs, the feet. If you want to stay tall in the spine, you can. That is a posture in its own right. You can use bricks to rest your forehead on, or if you've got a bolster laying around, you can use that to rest your forehead on. We're going to be here for about another 6 breaths. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. If you want to really melt in for these last 2, then do. And last 1. Inhale, lift yourself out. And then, this isn't going to feel that nice if you're on a brick, okay? So if you do need to elevate, make sure it's something a little bit thin, well, maybe not necessarily thinner, but a bit bigger maybe, so you can actually get 2 butt cheeks on it. Not half or 1. Now I forgot where I'm going. No, I haven't. Right, so now we're going to take Gomukhasana with the arms. You can take full variation or you can take half variation. I'll talk you through starting with half. So starting with half, left leg is out in front of you. Right, the left with the knees stacking, right foot to the outside of the left hip. If you're like me, this is going to be enough for you, okay? And then you have the option. You can fold the chest forward and press the hands into the mat. Or you can take that same arm position that we've already taken. So in which case you'll need to reach the right arm up, right hand between the shoulder blades, left hand from underneath and up. Bendy bevs, bend the left knee as well. I mean, just because I can do it doesn't mean it feels nice. Foot is then by the right hip, so kind of like a shoelace. So you can, if you're in way, you can stay tall, or you can back 5 breaths from now. Last breath. Use your inhalation to come up. Release the arms first. Roll the shoulders. Full Gomukhasana. You can do the funky transition where you lean to the left, walk the hands around the back, and then you end up with the left leg then over the right rather than right over left. You can then take that right leg out if you're going for half. If not, just uncross the legs and recross in the opposite direction. So same again with the arms. This time left arm is coming from above between the shoulder blades, right hand from underneath. You can use your straps here again if you need to. One side you might need a strap, one side maybe not. Lifting tall first before you do anything else. Rooting down through that right leg, exhaling as you fold. That's assuming your right leg is long. 5 breath hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come up. Release the arms first. Uncross the legs, legs out in front of you, Paschimottanasana. Take a little halfway lift, release and refold. And then we're going to inhale and lift up. Now we're going to take ourselves down onto the mat. Not really sure why I'm talking like that. And once you're down, you can either take legs up the wall or you can press into the elbows and you can lift into your shoulder stand if you would prefer to. If you're going for shoulder stand, hug the elbows back in as tight as possible. Then you can walk the hands up the back a lot further, and then you've got a lot straighter headstand. Not headstand, it's a shoulder stand. So this is the king of yoga poses, they say. Squeeze your inner thighs in, really root up through the feet. You can flex, point, somewhere in between. Then either stay here or we're going to take a pose called Pose of Tranquility. Let me know how tranquil you find it. Left knee is going to come down to the forehead. Then you can rest that right leg on the back of the left foot. Change legs. Back into shoulder stand. Slowly roll down out of your shoulder stand. Take it to legs up the wall. And then placing the hand on heart and belly. 5 breaths. The shoulders melt. Adjust them if you need to. And then you're going to bend the knees, take the feet out as wide as the mat and just let the knees knock inwards. Apologies if you can hear my belly rumbling on the mic, my bad. Inhale, lift the knees. Reach the arms out wide at shoulder height. As you exhale, knees are going to fall to the left and your head is going to roll to the right. And let the shoulders melt, let the heart open. Inhale to center, exhale, knees to the right, head to the left. Inhale to center. Bring one leg down into Shavasana, followed by the other. You can keep the arms this wide if you want to, or you can bring them to settle to the side of the body but not touching. Make any adjustments that you need to. Wiggle the bum cheeks, whatever, and then a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Allow your breath to now take its natural rhythm as you find some still space in your Shavasana. Notice the points of contact between you and the mat. Each exhalation, continue noticing the weight pressing down into those spaces. Foundation getting heavier, more grounded with each breath. Now the good thing about a pre-recorded is you can just switch me off here and lay in Shavasana as long as you like. If you are going to close your practice now and just start to softly move the body, breathe a little bit deeper. And then when you're ready, just rolling yourself over to one side. Take a breath in, sigh the breath away, and then softly press your way to a seated position, bringing your hands to your heart center. 2 breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then bowing to close our practice. Thank you for sharing your practice with me as always. Namaste.